What are you guys doing?
Are you kidding me? Like the show?
Lesbian cops? What's not to like?
I was up for this show. All three you idiots helped me with the show, and I didn't get it, and she stole my job, and wow.
We had this bathtub scene that gets a lot of attention on YouTube, which is really, really flattering. It was a very good scene. We enjoyed doing the scene. So I had to get in the bathtub and have a whole scene talking to her. In the first place, I have very curly hair, and so the humidity, I got all those little ringlets, which is, it doesn't make you feel very sexy with the hair. I look like a poodle in a bathtub. So I'm in the bathtub, and then the water kept getting colder, and there was no way really to warm it up, and we were trying to cover up all my naughty bits, so they kept trying to put more suds in. But so this woman would come up who was in charge of props, and she'd put more suds in, put her hand in there with my body, and go, bubbles, 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 bubbles. So already you get a little punch drunk, because you're like, what? At what point in your life do you sit in a bathtub half naked with some woman coming up, bubbles? So then they decide that the dog...
Oh, no.
But no, they made the water opaque with
that's right.
shaving cream, powdered milk, dish soap for the bubbles.
No, mouthwash.
Mouthwash.
That was the opaque. That's what
made it opaque?
I'm soaking in it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Mila, I'm thinking, do you protective gear on and all? How are you after
a
this
little bathing suit type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's this whole sexy scene where we're talking, and it's a really nice scene. And then there's a bit where the dog is supposed to come and drink water out of the bathtub.
Which he wouldn't do, shockingly.
Well, why would he? Because he was smart enough to stay away from the shaving cream and the Listerine and everything else that I'm soaking in. Yeah. So finally...
For 10 hours.
Yeah, so finally, I'm the sexiest poodle prune you've ever seen. So suddenly they decide, well, this is what we should do, Eureka. We should put dog food on the inside of the bathtub so that the dog will come and lick it.
My God.
Which worked, except that 3/4 of it would fall into the stew that's now...
She smelled so good at the end of the night. I couldn't help but,
And then she had to step into the tub with me.
Oh, no. So meanwhile, you're watching.
But it's so funny because the response to the scene is always like, hey, bathtub scene. That was some hot stuff. And I'm like... Let me tell you about the bathtub scene.
Yeah, let me tell you.
There was
and they're like, wah, wah.
Yeah, but it was funny.
And then we realized I had only one pair of underwear there that day. And I had to drop trowel, obviously, to get into the tub. And after one take, the underwear were wet. So then it was, I'd be dropping trowel with no underwear on the dailies that are going back to the studio.
I'm sure no one looked.
No.
I'm sure everybody was very respectful.
There's an executive somewhere with a special drawer.
Yeah. I'm sure nobody played it on loop. I'm sure. The first thing out of your mouth to me was, are you comfortable playing a lesbian? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm actually really comfortable playing this woman who's in love with an amazingly hot woman. I mean, I don't think you play a lesbian. I didn't have any issues with it at all, and neither did you. You're like Stunty McBruise a lot.
It was awful fun.
She had bruises going all the way up and down her hip. We both ended up with a lot of bruises. Yours, I have to say, was spectacularly about 27 or 28 different colors.
There was a pink Cadillac convertible in the parade that I had to do a hood slide over. There's a chrome strip down the center of the hood. Normally when you're doing a hood slide, you don't want the big ridge. So every time I went over the car, and so it was, yeah.
It was pretty.
She was awesome, though. And
my leg modeling days were over.
Well, no, that's the bruise then you see in the bathtub scene, but okay.
We were showing real bruises in the bathtub.
You were, I know. You got your...
Mister, quit. Ow. Ooh. Well, that looks bad.
I know. That's from where the drug dealer knocked me down.
Well, I got scared for you last night. And if it'll make you feel any better, courtesy Michael Turner.
Oh. You are so competitive.
Yeah, I got it at that antique store you love down on Royal next to Brennan's. I love this. Thank you. What's it for? Our anniversary.
Oh. Which one?
Our first date?
No. The first time that we made love.
No.
Oh, come on, give me a hint. I can never remember anything.
You never forget when there's a shoe sale at Saks.
That's true.
You'll figure it out.
Well, why don't you get in here and let's start celebrating whatever it is we're celebrating.
I actually don't have the sort of like same point of view that they have about casting. I got lucky that they even showed up for the script. That made me really happy.
And there was a room full of girls who were making sure that everyone in the room knew they were straight. It was really important.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know this was going on outside of the room.
And I was like, well, I don't fucking care. Like, how is this pertinent to the conversation? And there was a lot of, my boyfriend is picking me up after the test because I like cock.
Really? I like cock t-shirt, I thought was a bit much on the one girl. Yeah.
She's down.
And when she walked out of the door, I went, that's my Nora, and that's the watermark, and somebody has to beat Christina out of this role. And seriously, from that point on, that was it. And everybody sort of agreed on that, and there was nobody else around. So
I hadn't come in yet. I didn't even.
We went all the way to studio to network for the test.
And without Liz.
Without Liz.
And so
great,
I got
yeah.
approached about coming in to read for Nikki Nora, but it was going to shoot in New Orleans, which was a place that I loved, but I wasn't necessarily sure that I wanted to move right away because
it was a relocation conversation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
And I was about to get married in like 2 months, and so
it felt like 2 weeks after we shot.
Yeah, it was coming up. So it just was a lot at once.
And so I read with 3 Nickies, and there was nothing there because it got to the chemistry part, and they'd be like,
yeah, seriously.
Just fear. It was just weird. And like all really good actors. Like everybody was a really good actor. It was just like that thing was not frigging there.
And I do want to give credit to the actual network executives. Christina's the only one that sort of survived after that process. And we went out looking again. But they knew it was important. The choice of these two was really, well, we were hanging a franchise on it. It was important. So they cared.
They did. They cared. So I had to go and meet Christina at CBS and
read again.
And you understand, the day they were reading together is when they met.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy, right? Let's have a chemistry read. I've never met you. How are you? Let's make out. I mean,
but it was interesting because we rehearsed in the hallway, and we kind of knew, we just kind of knew right away that it worked.
And before we even rehearsed.
Yeah, it was.
We came in the room and we went, hi. I went, oh, well, this is done.
Well, it was fine because the whole thing was so ridiculous.
No, I did.
And peed a little.
I did.
Well, that's what you told me.
Well, I always pee a little.
Yeah, that's a whole different. I know.
It's a whole different problem.
It was interesting because the first thing out of your mouth to me was, "Are you comfortable playing a lesbian?" And I was like, well, yeah, I'm actually really comfortable playing this woman who's in love with an amazingly hot woman. I mean, I don't think you play a lesbian. I didn't have any issues with it at all, and neither did you. And because
but you have to understand, I asked that question because so many actresses turned it down because of that in town. It was so ridiculous. I mean, we sent out the script and people were like, I don't. Yeah. No, I don't.
Great character, great story, great people.
No, I think that's changed a lot in the last.
It's changed since we did it.
It's like,
absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I'm really happy about that because now there seem to be so many characters starting to appear on television, and
because it was the year of Nipplegate.
Yeah.
It was Janet Jackson Nipplegate. So we actually had to roll back on any of the physicality because everybody was walking on eggshells.
Right? Wasn't there a conversation about kiss or no kiss?
Don't kiss
at the network.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to kiss at the network.
Chemistry read, don't kiss.
Yeah, which was really ridiculous.
Whatever, I don't care.
Plus, I can't imagine. I know. I love you.
You're awful nice.
But it kind of, I think we both kind of knew it was going to work when we left. I mean, it sort of just felt right.
Yeah.
And we both.
I cried and peed a little. It was great.
Yeah. I kind of felt like when we went in after meeting in the hallway, we talked for like 30 seconds. Oh, and we talked about someone.
Oh, I remember. Oh, that's right.
And then it was like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
And we went in the room, and I was like, oh, network
moment.
executives. I didn't even.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. Well, also, you don't, I mean, you probably know this now, but I called my agent right after I met you, too, because the whole thing was, well, if I don't feel like we get along, I mean, this is fine, but this is big. If the whole thing was a move, it was all logistics. It was just, if it got picked up, I wanted to like whoever my love interest was going to be on anything where I might move. I wanted to like him or her very much. And so we met, and I immediately called my agent, and I was like, okay, gotta go rehearse. It's fine. Okay, yeah, no, she's great. Okay, bye. This is like, and he was like, that was fast.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all very good. Well, part of it was the worry that it was going to be some of those girls that you were talking about that were going to try real hard to be something that they weren't and not come at it from a very organic place, and so it was just a relief.
We're guessing you're watching this because you've heard that we want to bring you a new web series with some characters that you know and love, Nikki and Nora. Yay! Yay! We appreciate so much your support for the original unaired pilot of Nikki and Nora. It's been amazing.
With the fan videos and the fan fiction.
Yeah, and the almost 800,000 views. And see, the amazing thing is that now you can help us bring you back these characters.
Bring
in
you
new stories.
more
bring
of us.
You.
No, we did legitimately have one drink before we shot one scene. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
It wasn't what anybody would think either.
No.
It's because we had to dance in front of like 1,100 extras. And they all, yeah, and so we're in the middle of
Your
the
teacher
square.
could say, I had to dance
in front of
1,100 extras.
It was awful.
And
I
shot.
had to punch that guy, and I punched him. Do you remember that?
I know, what a pussy.
You really punched him?
She
I didn't
punched
mean
him.
to. I had
He
a big
cried.
ring. I didn't mean to. I had
cried.
a ring on like
he
this.
did not. Sack up. He cried.
The problem was they kept saying you're not close enough because they were trying to cut in with doubles and stuff, and so they finally had the two of us together, and they were like, it isn't selling if it's not closer, it isn't selling if it's not closer. And I was really tired. I didn't mean to, but the ring was bigger than I knew. It really was a gigantic ring. So
I know,
ended
you
up
felt horrible. I
slapping
shouldn't
him.
tease about it. You
I felt so horrible. I had to leap from one balcony to the other.
Why was that, Liz?
Well, we had to be as nice about this as possible. We had a stunt woman who was lovely, who had doubled me several times, and by the time we did,
They just didn't look the
we
same
didn't look
anymore.
alike anymore.
I said, you can't do the stunt because I was freaked out because literally it was jumping from up real live balcony to balcony.
So as she's saying you can't do the stunt, Liz is of course running up the stairs in the house and jumping onto the balcony going, I'm here!
So I leave the set and Liz does the stunt behind my back and jumps from balcony to balcony.
Yeah, but I did fall, and I didn't fall jumping. I fell walking into the building after I jumped, which, in a nutshell, is my life. So I fell and I cut my elbow. I still have a scar from that, and I actually love it. I do still have a scar from that. Let's all look.
Well, you might want to talk about some of your research out in the quarter, the two of you together.
Oh, that's right. I forgot because we were drunk.
Yeah, great.
Helen, that's
I passed.
We just would go out drinking together at night,
and we had false identities.
They did. So they were going out as a couple. I said, go out as a couple. See how it feels. Be
We
positive, be out, see how it
in
feels.
town on a banking convention from Bank of America.
we were very excited because we were going to adopt a Cambodian baby together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your false name was Taylor.
That's
believe you
right.
remember
Nice.
The Taylor, and then at the little Hobbit house with a big grand piano in it, we'd been talking to a bunch of people, telling the stories of how we were adopting our Cambodian baby once the Bank of America gave us the go ahead for our domestic partnership.
As you do.
As one does.
Yeah.
And another guy reaches across the table and says, sorry, I didn't get your name. And she says, Liz! And then the other guy goes, I thought you said your name was Taylor. Liz.
And then you're Liz Taylor.
Trust me, those terms own a huge importance. Okay. Are those new? Aren't they fabulous? I got them. Sorry. Okay. Are those new? Aren't they? Wait. I'm crying. Oh, so good. It was seamless. Here comes the